veux que je parle? OK. OK. Est-ce que je le fais en anglais ou en français? Comme je veux? Alright. Alright, Yann, t'es prêt? Alright, 3, 2, 1, Doom. Alright, so this is Doom 1, boys. So this game was released before I was born. I think the same year I was born. And I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, known as Ultra Violence. The game is very, very difficult. And the monster's movement is random. The damage they do is random. How much damage you can deal could be random. How your gun's bullet spread goes is random. So like right there, see that enemy blocked me. I have no control over that. So I might die a lot of times during my run. That's normal. But I'll try my best. The game is separated in 4 episodes. This is the first episode. And you would think it's the easiest, but it's definitely not the easiest. It's the second hardest episode. I'm just going to be saving between levels in case I die, so I don't have to start over. The shotgun guys, not these guys, this guy right here, when they shoot, you can't dodge their bullets. It's known as hit scan. And no matter where you are, they will hit you. You cannot dodge that. So I'll try and get those out of the way as much as I can. Because I can dodge the imps when they shoot their fireballs, like that. But I cannot dodge the shotgun blast. These pigs are very annoying in Doom 1. They take 3 shotgun hits to kill. And we don't have the best gun in the Doom series in this game. The double barrel shotgun simply was not invented yet. You'll see it in the next game. Okay, that section right there was actually really... See, like, as long as I'm sandwiched between monsters, I can take a lot of damage. Monsters move when you shoot. They'll try and move around and try and find you. So sometimes I'll be shooting in the emptiness to try and make monsters move, to make it easier for me to move through the level. Little secret here opens up a trapdoor for more ammo and help. So here's the first little skip of the run. There's a ramp on the left side. We'll see it soon. There's a ramp right there, and if I time... No, I missed it. In this game, you cannot jump. There's no jump in Doom. I got it right there. There's no jumping in this game. You can never gain vertical height, but you can preserve your horizontal distance if you go very, very fast. I'll always try and be running diagonally in this game because it's much faster than going straight. You run at an angle and you run faster. This is by far my most hated level of the first episode. It's very long and there are no major skips and you can die a lot. Here's a secret. It opens up 200 armor and the rocket launcher. Monsters can open doors, so these 3 guys weren't supposed to be here. They can open doors and it's random when they do it or they don't feel like doing it. So a lot of times I'll see monsters and I'll go like, oh, that was supposed to be there. It's a hard little section right here, so it's safer to save first. As you can see in Ultra Violence, there are a lot of enemies. And when they sandwich you, they can hurt you from all angles and you can drop instantly almost. I picked up a partial invisibility and that makes me, well, like the name suggests, partially invisible to enemies, and they will shoot, they will shoot randomly when they see me because they're not sure of where I am exactly. And that can sometimes help, or sometimes no, because they'll still shoot at you. This game's very dark. I can put the brightness higher. Is the brightness okay? Nice. I'm very happy I got through that level without dying. So there's a big time-saving skip right here. I will cause an enemy to... I'm going to use this enemy's head. Right there you saw. The door fell on its head and it stayed open. Or else you have to sit here and fight enemies for 30 seconds. So that's a really, really big time saver. Over here I'm just going to go get some health and armor. There are many safe strategies in this game used for marathon speedrunning because you die so much that you need to go to these safe strats. You lose time, but for a marathon it's worth it so that you don't have to redo those same levels over and over again. In the first episode, I don't have many rockets, so I actually count every rocket I shoot, because at the end I will need a number of rockets to defeat the boss. These invisible pigs are the same as regular pigs. They're just partially invisible and they're hard to see and they take a lot of damage. Kill. I can't look up and down also in this game. You may have realized I'm only looking in the same direction. Actually looking up and down wasn't common in those days, so the crosshair is locked in the middle of my screen. But the engine can, I can hit enemies. Oops, sorry if I took the wrong turn there. Oh, wait, I just want to concentrate here so I don't forget what I'm doing. There you go. So I can hit enemies pretty much anywhere on my screen as long as I can see them. And hopefully that the game thinks and knows where I'm shooting, but sometimes it won't. I'm not healthy right now. It's not good. So these pinkies take up a lot of time in Doom 1, but you'll see when I do the next game, which is Doom 2, you can deal with them much easier. Nice little skip here, you can jump here to skip a small portion of the level. The blue sphere gives me 100 health, and the blue armor gives me 200 armor. Over there I was shooting in the open again to make the monsters move so they don't block me. Unfortunately they did not. A lot of enemies in this game, so sometimes I just gotta stay there and shoot. I shot one rocket too many, but it's okay. It'll just take me a bit longer to finish the boss. Alright, so this is the last level of the first episode. Nice little secret here to give you some health. So I'll always try and be running diagonally because you run much faster when you do so. So this is the first level, first boss. It's these two hell barons. And there are invisible pigs in my way, by the way. You can't really see them, but I can. There we go, I beat them. So that's the first boss of the okay, if I don't like these pinkies. There you go. Okay. Now I just gotta wait for this to go up. Alright, so that was the first episode out of 4. You go in this room and you die here. So now I will start the second episode. So I start every episode fresh. That's the way they do it in the speedrunning world. So you start every episode without your previous guns and health and armor. So you always start with a pistol and nothing else. I'm not healthy. I'm gonna pick this up. I'm gonna go through here and just get some goodies. So once again, these guys are really annoying. They always block me. So that's the first time we see this guy, Paco Demon. Very famous monster in the Doom series. Here's another one. I shoot here, he goes to the left, and then I go around him. That's the first level of the episode. I picked up a Berserker pack, that's why the screen is pinkish, and I have really strong fists. But I'll never be using that on the run, because it's really hard to go up so close to the enemies. Here I do a little detour to take the plasma gun, by far the best monster clearing gun in the game. Here's our first little skip. Oh, I missed it, but it's okay. There's a safety net here. So in Doom, everything is infinitely tall, so you can activate switches that are infinitely higher than you if you're below them. So that's what I did over there to go to the exit. A little bit of monster manipulation. I shoot here. These guys go to the right. Sometimes they don't listen. So there's a monster blocking me down there. That's why I can't go. Die here. I have to restart that episode because I forgot to save. Sorry. So that's a good example of Doom's poor mechanics. There was a monster that was much lower than me, and I couldn't go where I needed to go because he was blocking me and actually damaging me from below. And because I can't see him, I cannot damage him, but he can damage me. So that was very unfortunate. I'm just going to save so that so make sure. So I can't go under him. Like, I'm waiting for him to come out because I cannot go under these enemies. Well, that'll teach me to save.
We have a $10 donation from Meg Bunny, who donated $10 and said, "Go PmGab, your #1 fan, kisses."
It's a nice donation. So I'll try to skip here again. So I'll try to run really fast and go over this ledge like that. I'll be using that ledge jumping often in both Doom series since you can't actually jump in this game. See, this time I was able to go through. Just the way the monsters move in this game is random and out of your control. You can wall run in this game, like I did right there. When you're running against a wall at a specific angle, I forget which, if it's north by east or north by west, you can run on the wall and run much faster. Many games had this exploit back in the day. So that's the first boss that we saw earlier. He just becomes a regular enemy from now until the end of the series. It's really nice how they slowly introduce all the enemies in Doom 1. You slowly get stronger enemies, and you slowly get better weapons. But in Doom 2, they just didn't care, and they gave you almost all the guns, and you see all the enemies really quickly. Here's a little skip. You can go right here before the platform raises. Doesn't have anything interesting, just a few things that I do that you cannot see. Sometimes I will avoid going over certain tiles. It's called skipping a specific trigger. And some tiles will spawn more monsters. There's always a joke in Doom that you enter a room and there's nothing, and as soon as you step on the wrong tile, a bunch of monsters appear. So a lot of times I'll be doing that, but I don't bother to comment on it. In this level, we see a very fun exploit. We'll actually go out of bounds. The only time we'll ever go out of bounds in both Dooms. But what's special about it is that you cannot go back in bounds. So once you go out of bounds, you stay there, and I'll be able to activate the the end level switch from the outside. So the first part of the trick is right here. By looking at a specific pixel, there you go. So now everything's all messed up because I'm out of bounds. And this is the exit, and this requires a lot of precise clicking, so I will be silent for now. I got it. That was really good. So in this level, there's a really neat trick. There's a rocket jump. The only one in Doom 1 that we use during a marathon speedrun. Screen is white, that's normal. I picked up a invulnerability spear, and I cannot take damage in this state. And the screen is all white because the developers really wanted to make it annoying. So I will be performing a rocket jump right here. I clear those enemies because I don't want them to block me. This requires a lot of precise movement. And the reason why I'm using a rocket is because I want to go as fast as possible to maintain my my vertical. There we go, I got it. To maintain my vertical axis, so to say, to go to the exit much quicker than to actually do the level in whole. So a very famous monster again in Doom series, the Mr. Cyber Demon. I'll make sure to save this case. And there's no real strategy to it. You just have to hope that these lost souls that are flying around don't come right in front of your face. Because the Cyber Demon's rockets can do upwards to 200 damage. And you can only have a maximum of 200 HP. So usually by 1 or 2 rockets you can die. So you just want to keep pacing yourself and hope he dies before you do. And I also don't want to stand next to the walls because the splash damage is really real in this game. So that was episode 2. Onwards to episode 3. Episode 2 is my favorite episode, so I'm really glad that went decently well. Even though at the beginning I died, that kind of sucked, but the rest went pretty well. There's really good music in Doom 2. So here I unfortunately have to fight all these because the hallway is very narrow and I can't go around them. Episode 3, the one I'm doing right now, is also the shortest episode. And is probably also the easiest. Level. there's a secret. You see the blood splattered wall indicates that you can open it to get the plasma gun, which is very, very important to have. So you see, like already in the 3rd episode, you get the plasma gun right away, whereas you never see it in the 1st episode. So that's like another way how the developers slowly graduated you into using every gun. Forgot to say. Over here, I'm going to clear these enemies because I will be coming through a narrow pathway very high up, and I don't want to get blocked like I did in the other level where I died. Here we get the key and some goodies. So this is the... See, I'm being blocked by the bottom again. I was able to go through. I could have died there. Out of my control. Oh, I got the BFG gun right there. Forgot to mention. It's a very, very powerful gun. It shoots 40 plasma cells widespread in front of you, and the mechanics of that gun are very, very difficult to explain, so I won't even bother explaining it, but it does a lot of damage. And it's called the BFG, and it stands for the Big Fluffy Gun. I know it doesn't, but I can't say it on stream. So here's just like a lot of monster manipulation. Kind of work right there. Actually, no, that kind of worked. There's a really cool trick coming up. It's called a key grab, and I'll be using Doom's engine to go very, very fast. And by doing so, I can grab objects that are beyond your normal reach. So by looking at a specific angle, I'll get the yellow key, which I got in my inventory. Bottom right, you can see I got the key. So I get it through the wall there. I'm very happy I got that the first try. And it saves a lot of time. See, again, I'm being blocked from underneath and I can't see the enemy. I could have died there. I think I didn't. A lot of like portal jumping in this level. Here's a really neat trick. You get to squeeze through these. Right there, I got it really fast there. Oh, whoops. I stepped in a platform that squishes you because I didn't do it too fast. It's okay. I'll attempt this trick again. Got it. So I can activate the switch from without stepping on there like I did last time. This texture is called the stream killer because it's very, very ugly. That reddish, bluish texture that you saw. And it tends to reduce stream quality by a lot. This texture right here. I don't know what they were thinking when they designed this texture. I'm not healthy here, but I should be okay. I'll be stepping into a lot of lava here, so I hope I can make it to the exit. There's a health pack right there. Okay, that was close. This is one of my favorite levels, and it has really good music. I say that because the music is very horrendous, and my friend particularly likes this music. So this level is quite long, but utilizing those strafe jumps that we use, we can reduce. Here there's a big maze. I just have to remember how to get to where I have to go. There we go. Utilizing strafe jumps, you can skip a lot of big portions, and you'll be able to see that. first try each time. There's another one. It's really, really precise the angle you have to use. Oh, didn't get it. Fortunately, there are stairs there, so I can keep trying. There you go. I usually do it on the way back, but I wasn't feeling it, so I took the stairs. Here's a really, really hard one. I particularly do not like doing this one. It's very... It's much more precise than the last one. I got it, but I fell on the other side. Yeah, I did it all the time. I picked up some bullets, that's why I was going left and right there. So this is the last boss of the third episode. I don't have a lot of HP. I might die before she dies. Yeah. So usually it takes 2 BFG shots, but because the way they spread, it's kind of random. I hope that she dies in 2. There you go. I only had 2 shots, I didn't have 3. So that's the last boss of Doom 1, but in Ultimate Doom, they added this episode. And this episode is very, very, very difficult. It is the 4th episode, and most commonly when you do a speed run of the full game, you do this one first, because this is the one that you'll probably die on the most. I'm doing it last just because, just to do 1, 2, 3, 4 in order. What's cool, what's interesting about this level is that there is no health in this level, so every bit of HP I lose is very crucial. So I'll be taking my time because I don't feel like doing it over and over again. Again, there's an invisible pig in front of me. Here's another key grab that's very interesting. There's a key, red skull key in front of me, and I grabbed it through the wall. Again, using the fact that you can strafe in this game, you go very, very fast, and it fools the game to thinking you're actually on the other side, or, I mean, your hitbox is actually bigger than where you're going. And you can grab objects through walls. Good, I did it without dying. I'm very happy. This is a pretty difficult level. Not very fun to do. I shouldn't have just fallen there. Here's a secret, you can go. So there's a key, there's a wall, a wall grab here. I can get the PFG through the wall. I just got it. And here I have to do a very precise jump. The end level, first try. Alright, I'm happy I did that pretty fast. So forgive me stream, I have to get another god mode in this level. Without it, it's very hard to go through all these enemies, so sorry, I have to get it. Here there's a nice little secret, and it allows me to get the backpack, which doubles your ammo capacity. And the reason I do this, I get it, is because on the 6th level of this episode, that level is very hard. I'm actually very nervous just thinking about doing that level. So I get it just because I want to have more bullets on that. I get the ammo pack because I want to have more bullets for that level so that I can complete it faster. Or more easy, actually, not even faster, just more easier. I don't have a lot of HP, so I have to watch out here. Well, I don't know where that shot came from, but it hit me. I'm not very healthy here, and I don't like this. This part here can be difficult depending on how the monsters move. So I hope I don't die. 6% health, it's not bad. So I pick up the minigun here, the chain gun, which is great because it stuns the enemies. It's like flinching, kind of like in most fighting games, like Super Smash Brothers. It flinches the enemy so they can't hit you when they're flinched. I pick up another invulnerability sphere. Very important for this level too. Lots of monsters, lots of shotgun guys, and again, you cannot dodge their bullets, so it helps to beat them. Oh wow, I've never fallen here before. Oh, okay. That was the first time I ever fell in that pit. So the next, not this one, the next level is the one I'm fearing to do. So I have to try and not take too much damage in this level, so that I may enter the next level with healthy stats, so to say. Up the radiation suit, so I stop dying from the poisonous lava, poison field. I don't have a lot of armor, it's not very good, but hopefully I can... Once again, monsters blocking my way. Alright, this level is the before last level of the game, and by far the hardest level in Doom 1 and Doom 2. I won't be talking much because I really want to do this one. I haven't saved it in a long time. There's invisible enemies, that's why I'm doing this. Shooting in the open, but they're actually hitting the pigs. I can utilize strafe jumping here to get to the portal. Once again, there are enemies blocking my path and I can't do anything about it. Two strafe jumps back to back there. I'm gonna save here because this part I don't do very well. Does one come out? There we go. Nice. Sometimes he doesn't die with one BFE shot. So here I'm waiting for a platform to rise. So I just have to wait a bit over here while I try and hide from damage. Okay, should be good to go. Well, to top it all off, there's a cyber demon way in the back. And it shoots at you pretty much the whole time. So you have to get lucky and make sure he doesn't hit you. So I pick up another invulnerability sphere to fight the Cyber Demon head on. Okay, he's gone. So that level is really, really difficult. I didn't die, but I did take a long time because I took safe routes instead of the routes you usually take when you want to go for your personal best. Here's a neat little trick too. So I was able to strafe jump all the way to the exit there, and the exit's in the ground, and you have to click a switch to bring it up, but because you can hit stuff infinitely up or down, you can just click the trigger. So here we'll see the BFG's power. It clear ruins the enemies very quickly. This is the last level of the game. And the final boss, they weren't too creative. It's another spider demon. It would have been cool to see a different enemy. It's the same spider demon. Spider Mastermind, actually, it's called. Down she goes, and time is when I step onto this this thing that's going down, and that's time. 37. Not what I was hoping for, but then again, it's a difficult game. Still beat HDQ though.